preseason, we laid out our goals out there. We knew that we had a good enough team to be at this point, but he just keeps reminding us that this is not where we want to be. I mean, it's a blessing for us to be here. We're grateful for it, but we have more work to be done. I mean, we celebrate in the locker room, but as soon as we leave the locker room, we're on to the next game. And that's kind of what the message has been in terms of this tournament. And so for us to continue to do that is what's going to be the key for us to be able to keep taking it game by game, not being too high on ourselves and, not celebrating too much.
All right, welcome to a special edition of the Let It Fly show. We're calling it an elite edition of the Let It Fly show. As always, thank you to Omaha Steaks for making this possible. The folks over at Hurrdat getting this done too last minute. I am Michael Severe. He is Josh Jones, Central High School's finest, and of course, he went to Creighton too.
Yes, sir.
Yes, he did. This is a feel.
Yeah.
I think for former players where you're just like, I can't believe this, or what's it like for you?
That's facts. It's not the fact that I can't believe that Creighton wasn't good enough to make it to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that Creighton's in the Elite Eight, bro. That's crazy.
It's so funny because they've had teams that at different points of the season were really good.
Yep.
That Maurice Washington team before he got hurt was rolling.
Oh, man.
A couple of years ago even when you had all those injuries with Ryan not Cockburner getting hurt, but Nembhard getting hurt, right?
Yeah, right.
You had a really hot team,
yeah,
and they had the injuries.
Yeah.
This is the first time in probably 6 or 7 years
right,
where they're playing their best ball and they're avoiding the injuries.
This might be like a debate or something. You know how you do the GOAT debate and all that stuff. I had a conversation with somebody, and they asked me, who did I think was better? That Mo Watson, Kyrie Thomas.
That's a good team.
Justin Patton team.
Yeah, that's a good team.
Or this team right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, man, to me, Mo Watson was nice.
Yeah.
Justin Patton was tough.
Yep.
I don't know, but
and they were playing really well when he got hurt. Yep.
Man, I wish he didn't get hurt, man.
Yep.
It's like it'd be an easier debate if he never got hurt.
Yeah, then you could actually see how far they actually went. But this team has depth, though.
Yeah.
Like, that team had some depth, and they had one of the best defensive players in all the country.
But also one of the best assist man in the country.
And Mo Watson,
so that was my thing.
They were solid. I look at this team now, and with the way Farabello is playing now, coming in and getting a couple shots.
It's like a different confidence.
It's all of a sudden,
for sure.
Hit his first shot again.
Yeah.
It's like the third game in a row where he hit his first shot. So he's playing well. The depth, Fred King came in, gave him some good minutes.
Yep.
Got a block shot, did a good job down low.
Yeah, he's been really active defensively.
And their starting five, I think, as a collection, is better than the starting five for that team.
I agree.
I think.
I agree.
I'm not sure if it's better overall than the starting five they had when they had Doug and Raggy and those guys. I mean, that was a really solid starting five. This one's pretty good.
Yeah, man. But I will say this, though. The fact that Creighton is in the Elite Eight, they are who they were supposed to be.
Who we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the
season. Exactly. It's just along the way, you kind of got to talk about the journey. A lot of people fall in love with, like, the destination. I'm a journeyman.
Oh, yeah.
And so for me, I'm not going to say that I thought that they was going to go this far. I just knew that they was good enough to be as good as they were advertised.
Well, things also need to fall in line, right?
For sure.
You need to stay healthy.
Yeah.
The bracket breaks for you. It's pretty nice. I mean, getting a Princeton team that's 15 opposed to getting maybe an Arizona team that was a 2 seed.
Right.
All that works out for you. But really the difference maker and everything is Baylor Shireman.
Yep.
Baylor Shireman has upped his game.
Yep.
He had a drought that he went through. Matter of fact, we had him on the show, and at that point, if I remember correctly, he was like 5 of 40.
Yeah, he was.
With threes. And I was like, he's like, I'm going to keep shooting.
Yeah.
And he did, and it's really come around. He was 5 of 5 in the first half, had a great game overall.
Yeah.
He was the go-to guy when he needed a bucket. Yeah. During that whole time with the zone, and we'll talk about that zone problem, during that whole time, there was a stretch where they only had one bucket. It was from Baylor.
Exactly.
So he really is the guy that's got this whole thing going.
He was a guy that, like, always can go off a script, but still be in sync.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel you on that.
Yeah, he can find a shot.
Yeah. But it's crazy because this starting five, the cohesion, the chemistry, like, they might be the best starting five in the country to me.
Oh, that's left.
Yeah, like, I looked at all the other teams. I'm like, man, can't nobody. Now, there could be teams better than Creighton.
Right.
But, like, position for position.
Right.
I feel like if somebody's not definitively better, they can hold their own enough for the other four to balance it out.
Yeah.
This team is rolling.
You could be right. I mean, the way they're playing.
Yeah.
And the game went a lot like we kind of talked. We thought they'd be able to score, both teams, right? Because Princeton's offense is just different. It's going to give you problems. The kid we talked about, the Wuma, that kid, everything we said, everything you read about him was real.
Right.
He rebounds, 9 assists again, got his buckets, sometimes made it look really easy. He's just a really solid, soon-to-be NBA player.
Yeah.
And they figured out a way, though, in the second half to slow him down.
Right.
And I think that really turned the game.
Yeah, as I think about Creighton about to get ready to play San Diego State, I mean, the storyline, I guess the personal storyline is like the brothers playing against each other and all that type of stuff.
There's a lot of storylines.
Yeah, it's a lot. But, like, for me, I think the storyline is, like, San Diego's physicality versus Creighton's run-and-gun offense.
Yeah. And we're gonna break down the San Diego State game after we talk to our guest.
Yeah, for sure.
So Trey Alexander will join us, and we'll chat with him about the game and what's been going through, and then we'll get to San Diego State. The only thing I'll say is, you know how they talk sometimes in soccer, they call it the beautiful game.
Yep.
Right? Because when you're watching from up top, you can see things kind of attached to each other,
exactly.
right? This pass defines this pass, goal.
Exactly.
San Diego State wants to play they want to play the ugly game.
Yeah,
they don't want the beautiful game.
Man,
they want the ugly game. Yeah, and we'll talk more about what they're doing ugly game wise. Ryan Kalkbrenner had a little stretch where he was struggling a little bit. Maybe he wasn't as physical as he needs to be, and all of a sudden,
hey, I'm gonna keep it real,
clicked,
bro.
Man.
This is my thing with Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Yeah,
it's almost like it's like a guilty pleasure, bro, because there'll be moments in the game I'm like, man, like this dude acting real soft right now.
Maybe he needs to get punched.
Yeah, but he's so valuable being on the floor, man, that you really can't, like, he was the defensive player of the year. Mm-hmm. Half of that was just his presence. The other half was his actions. Mm-hmm. So, like, I mean, it's like whether he's doing something or not doing something, he's doing something. Yeah, you know, he might
be a guy, Josh, and there are a lot of them out there. And I'm sure you play with some that need to get punched. They need to get hit occasionally.
Sure.
They need to just get started.
Yeah,
and I think that's what happened. They were talking mess.
Right.
Princeton talking mess is funny to me, but they were talking mess, and he got that dunk, and he said, "We lift
exactly.
too.
Yeah,
you know, F y'all.
Yeah,
that got him going.
He worked it out in his head.
Yeah, he worked it out.
Like, he's been doing that all year, and maybe that's just me. I'm a facial expression guy. I'm a body language guy.
Oh, you a body language guy?
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm old school. You old school, too.
Don't ever, though.
You old school.
Don't ever judge me based off of body language. Because I'm a body language fake.
Man.
Because I'll be like, he's just chilling and maybe he's upset. And I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't judge it. And there's a lot of people you can look at, you read their body language.
That's why Coach Mack a good coach.
Yeah.
Because I need the body language. I need that.
Well, Ryan needed something, and he got it.
He did.
And he turned it around.
It's like every game he has to find something to get himself going.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
And I think it's almost like it has to be a personal attack each time. Yeah. It's not him getting the dunk. It's not him getting a layup. It's not him hitting the free throw. Somebody got to literally jump up and swing and try to punch him in the mouth. Unless you're Amado Sanogo.
Yeah, well,
you know,
Sanogo does do a lot. He's doing that right now in the tournament. It's funny you said it's the best five, and you know what I was thinking? It might be UConn. That starting five is really good.
They do click. Yeah,
it's really good.
No, you're
They're playing well together.
Maybe
so
I just like how. Yeah, maybe it's just a little biasness.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, just look at overall and the experience, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You got Baylor, who's in 5th year.
Yep.
Nimhart and Ryan Kalkbrenner and Kaluma have all been playing together for like 3 years.
3 years,
right? So you do have that experience, and maybe that's it. Why?
Yep.
But yeah, they're playing pretty darn well. But what happened with the zone though?
Man.
So they throw a 1-3-1 zone on, right? And so we all like I've never played at your level. I've never coached at your level, but I played video games growing up. Okay,
for sure.
You 1-3-1 zone me.
Yeah.
I'm putting my best facilitator right there below the free throw line. I'm swinging him in there. I'm hitting him with the ball, making you collapse on him, and then he's kicking. Or I'm driving guards into the lane, making them collapse, and I'm kicking. I'm not just kicking the ball around the perimeter like they were doing.
Well, to me, I think it's like know your personnel. I think because of who they were playing against, it was like a
middle block?
A high-level chess match.
Okay, all right.
I mean, like, playing against Princeton, it's almost like if they get the ball, it's hard to guard them because they're going back. There were point of times where, if you can visually understand this illustration, you got a guy who passed the ball and goes away to set a screen, and then you're guarding somebody, and you damn near got to play under him because either he's going to back cut you or come off. You know, and I just feel like Creighton working so hard to guard that when it went to that 1-3-1, it was almost like psychologically because of the course of the game. But nonetheless, though,
you gotta figure it out.
Nonetheless,
you can't go 6 minutes
with Kalkbrenner.
Yeah,
you could have put him in a position,
and he wouldn't be my guy.
Yeah.
I need somebody like Baylor,
right?
Like when Baylor, the school,
right.
did it to Creighton years ago, and McDermott, they ran a zone, and I was like, put Doug right there. He's the passer. It should have been Baylor.
But
Baylor's
knowing Coach Mack that I know, he was like time and score probably.
Yeah, he was thinking, every possession is 35, 30 seconds.
Right.
We're burning it off. I get that. But they closed to 6.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary because, I don't think any other team is going to go 1-3-1 on Creighton.
Well, not they've seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
San Diego State
That's what I'm
tonight,
saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
And I don't think they will either.
No, because they can match up.
They made, and it's funny, one of the national guys tweeted out when they were struggling.
Yep.
And they said this is kind of what Princeton did to Arizona. But he says, I have confidence in Creighton being able to figure out some offense and better hitting their free throws.
Exactly.
They went 13 of 16 for the game.
Yep.
They made their free throws down the stretch, and it doesn't matter how well they play defense, how well they shoot. Is you make your free throws, you walk away with the win.
Yeah, you've been saying that a little bit.
You make your free throws, you're going to walk away and win in this tournament.
And that's why Kalkbrenner is such like a threat to teams because he's not like a hack a Shaq guy.
He went 4 for 4.
You can't foul him because he will make a free. He shoots him confident like a guard.
Yeah.
So hitting those free throws and just the high powered offense, man. It's kind of like we knew the results of that game.
You knew that Creighton would be able to score when they wanted to.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
23 of 31 from inside the arc.
Man.
That's 74%.
Yeah.
And then, as I mentioned, 13 of 16 from the free throw line. Overall, they shot just under 60%.
Right.
And in the second half, played better defense.
Yeah.
And kind of took Princeton out of their game. But you're struggling, right? You're scrambling because you're down.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with that. But it was a fun game to watch, if you're a Creighton fan.
Right.
At the same time, when you look at, and we'll get to this, but look at San Diego State and you look at what Princeton is, you really have a short amount of time to prepare for something completely different.
Yeah. And
there is nothing about them that are the same.
No, not at all. Honestly, and that's the thing. It's like that game, honestly, it's almost like an intermission game. Like you knew you were supposed to win that game,
sure.
But you don't want to ride the wave of, oh man, we advanced to the Sweet 16, going into the Elite 8 and get too comfortable.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that.
One of the hardest things to do in these tournaments, and it's always been the case, and it's not just basketball tournaments. It's anything that you have to prep for. You have that short amount of time to turn around, put the game plan together. Now I know that at least one coach was looking ahead, right, to both Alabama
for sure.
and San Diego State, preparing for both of them, right? If you take this team, I take this other team.
Yeah.
So they're prepped.
Yeah.
But you got to get the guys mentally ready to play them as well.
No, 100%.
And struggle look at that first half.
Yeah.
Princeton got pretty much whatever they wanted.
They did, yeah.
You score 43 points in the first half.
Yeah, they did.
They got what they wanted.
Yeah.
Creighton did not play the defense you expected.
They low-key controlled the game a little bit.
They did.
Just from an opportunity of themselves playing with nothing to lose. I mean, Peters was taking threes almost like, I got nothing to lose. I'm trying to come back. And this is the new Princeton offense.
Yeah.
I think
Langford was on fire.
They played, that
kid was on fire.
It's like they gave it their all.
They did.
You got to give them credit. For sure.
They played very well. And there were times, and I think it was Nick Bob on the radio broadcast said, there were times where you watched the game and you really didn't see a ton of athletic difference.
No.
You looked at Creighton and you went, yeah, they're playing well, they're athletic, but Princeton looked the same way for a while. So, eventually they kind of warmed down, and Princeton started panicking a little bit and started making some shots they couldn't make. But it was a great game.
Yeah.
They're sitting here for the first time, and don't talk about what happened in 1941. There were only 8 teams in the tournament, so everybody was in the Elite 8. This is modern basketball.
Right.
The 68-team field.
Right.
Creighton's never been at this point before.
Never.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Outside of UConn, nobody's been.
Nobody.
We're recording this on Saturday afternoon, so there are games being played right now and going to be played later. But other than UConn, nobody else has won either.
Yeah.
So you're in a mix with, the FAUs of the world, right? I mean,
and speaking about them, we don't know the outcome of this game as we're speaking right now. Mm-hmm. They remind me of. Let me see. It's a team that I feel like went on a run, but belonged there. I'll think of the.
Well, they look for real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll think of that team eventually.
Let me go back to the game they played against Tennessee. Okay?
Yeah.
And you watch the first half of that game, and Tennessee bullied them.
Yeah.
Bullied them on the boards, bullied them in passing lanes. Every ball was getting tipped in passing lanes. They went into the locker room, and coach said, you got to bow up.
Yep.
We have talent, but you got to be tougher.
Yep.
And they out-toughed a Tennessee team that was bigger, stronger, and faster than them in the second half.
Yep.
And FAU's not a big team at all, except for their big man in the middle, that 7'2" guy in the middle. Other than that, they don't have the size that Tennessee had. And Tennessee played the same game in the second half, but FAU was tougher and shut them down.
When Tennessee lost, I text Phil, because we were talking like off camera after our last show, and I was like, man, Tennessee looked like a G League team. And they do, but I just kind of feel like when it's winning time, all that stuff goes out the window.
Their coach, man. You're talking about a coach that had Kevin Durant and DJ Augustine and an NBA center and couldn't get past the second round.
There you go. So I had to check. I
don't trust him.
Fact check myself.
Yeah.
It's Davidson. They don't got a Steph Curry.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like
they belong.
Yeah, like. Let's not fall in love with like the narrative of Cinderella and all this and all that. Some teams really just haven't been watched all year on TV, because of the conference that they're in.
And look, this is a team that went. I think they're 31-3.
They are, bro.
So it's not like
they nice.
They didn't lose much during the regular season.
We got to talk about Kansas State first, though.
Okay, go ahead.
I got to show some love, man.
Yeah.
To Marquise.
Oh, Noel?
Yeah,
oh,
man.
That boy was bad.
Oh, man.
Just bad.
I had my popcorn.
Yeah, he was. So they were talking about before the game. That they thought that if it went the way it had been going, that this is a guy who could set the record for the most assists in a tournament. Now, he'd have to get to 4 or 5 games to do it.
Right.
And
you're talking about in the whole tournament?
In the whole tournament, ever.
Wow.
And so he had the most in a game the other night, over 20, right? And I believe I'm not mistaken, in 3 games, as of this taping, games going on right now, he's got like 52 assists.
Man.
It's incredible.
Man.
To pass the ball 52 times.
Yeah.
Now, I know good and well the way you shoot, you never pass the ball 52 times.
No.
Not over the course of a season.
Probably like 5 times.
Yeah.
And that was a pass it back.
I give it back to you. And so, he's has a chance at 5. And I told my wife when the game came on, I said, you're going to love this kid. Because he's 5'7".
He's tough.
He's undersized,
Remind
but
you
he's
of Kimba,
tough.
right? A little bit?
He reminds me of a guy, I go all the way back.
Okay.
Xavier University of Louisiana.
All right.
Right, the Gold Rush.
Okay.
We used to go watch them play.
Yeah.
And they had this little kid named Boo. Everybody named Boo.
Yeah, Boo.
His name was Boo. I don't remember what his real name was,
Yeah.
but he was a point guard. He was 5'3".
Word.
And the same thing. Passes would come off his hands, and a lot of times the guys wouldn't catch them because they weren't good enough.
Right.
Kansas State's catching those balls.
Man.
And they're scoring.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this dude argued with his coach.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Put up 2 different offenses
he just
and threw a lob.
And threw the alley-oop.
And said it was just based off of vibes and eye contact.
I just felt that.
Man,
yeah.
bro.
He's
Give
fun to
him a
watch.
league shot, bro.
Yeah, I would love to see him, and we don't know at this point. I'd love to see them make the Final Four.
Yeah.
Just because they're fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
And their coach.
No doubt.
You got a guy who's a coach year. I believe it's his first year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of stuff you want to talk about.
For sure.
Coming up, we'll chat with Creighton guard Trey Alexander here on the Let It Fly Show. All right, we want to welcome in Creighton guard Trey Alexander joining us on the Let It Fly Show. What have these last, 12 hours or so been like for you, Trey?
It's just been crazy just to be here even in this moment. I mean, just to grow up watching this tournament and then being able to play in it in each round and be able to advance and keep advancing in hopes of being able to travel to Houston after tomorrow. I mean, it's just been surreal. So it's just been very exciting and been a blessing.
Right. You grow up and you dream about playing in the NCAA tournament. You also grow up thinking about playing in the NBA and all that type of stuff. This is one of those dreams that you grew up seeing. Like, as a player, I know it's surreal and a blessing, like you said, but kind of talk about the hours leading up to that Sweet 16 game and then after when y'all got that dub.
Yeah, I mean, leading into it, the whole week we were just preparing. We were watching a lot of film, a lot of hours of film, guys getting a lot of shots up. I mean, we were just trying to put ourselves in a good position just to be able to put ourselves in a great position to win. So, I mean, it was countless hours with a lot of coaches watching players, watching the other teams' tendencies, what they like to do, what they have problems with. And, I mean, throughout the course of the game, we were just able to kind of exploit those weaknesses and go over the things that we were able to go over in practice to help us put ourselves in a good position to win. I mean, after the game, it was just crazy. I mean, the locker room energy was crazy. Mac was excited. Everybody was excited. It was Mac's 300th win, so that was a special moment for him.
Yeah.
And so now we're just focused on getting him his 301st win. So That's focus now.
Trey, you guys obviously been in some really good offensive matchups, even this season, going back to Maui. But that first half, 90 total points. Can you remember being in a game with that kind of offense in the first half? Because they were getting it done. You guys were getting it done.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's been a long time. Like you said, probably since Maui. I mean, in terms of us, we try to be a better defensive team, and I mean, going into the half, I know Mac was very angry in terms of our defensive play. So, I mean, he just knew that at the end of the day that for us to run away with this game, we were going to have to get stops because we knew they couldn't stop us on the offensive end, and that's kind of what we tried to do coming out of half, was trying to set the tone on the defensive end.
Hey, what type of things is Coach Mack saying to you guys to kind of keep you in the moment, and not try to get so anxious and think if we win this, we can do this and advance and all that? Like, what is he saying? What's the vibe with that to keep y'all grounded?
He just reminds us of our goals. Preseason, we laid out our goals out there. We knew that we had a good enough team to be at this point, but he just keeps reminding us that this is not where we want to be. I mean, it's a blessing for us to be here. We're grateful for it, but we have more work to be done. I mean, we celebrate in the locker room, but as soon as we leave the locker room, we're on to the next game, and that's kind of what the message has been in terms of this tournament. And so for us to continue to do that is what's going to be the key for us to be able to keep taking it game by game, not being too high on ourselves and not celebrating too much.
For sure.
Trey Alexander joining us, Creighton guard here on Let It Fly show. They went with that 1-3-1 zone, and it kind of muddied everything up in there. How'd you guys counter it? Can you talk about what they were doing? Are you guys making it difficult?
Yeah, I mean, they were putting a more tall person at the top of their zone, so it's kind of hard to throw over it at the beginning. But then we kind of were able to – we had to start attacking it, and they had their smallest person on the bottom half of the zone, so we were trying to find Kalkbrenner on a couple easy steals towards the end of the game when we started to figure out what they were doing with it. I mean, the first couple possessions, we were just kind of filling it out, trying to see what type of shots we could try to see what type of looks they would give us. And so we were starting to realize that Kalk could get some easy buckets if he was able to seal the bottom guy, and then we would probably get some open threes in the corners as well, because that was kind of the patch in the defense. So, I mean, as we started to do that, we kind of began to get buckets. But, I mean, we didn't even – most of the time we were just trying not to even let them get back in their 1-3-1 by just getting stops and running.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how hard was it to guard Princeton with that offense, those back cuts and, all that type of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, that's the offense we've never played before. Even Mac was telling us, he was like, that's one of the complex offenses we're going to play this season. He was telling us before the game, like, there's no moment that you can be relaxed. And that's kind of a couple possessions where we got back cut a couple times, and that's kind of what he was talking about. And then, I mean, like we said, we were just going to happen, and we kind of watched a couple clips, spots to see where we could find ways that we could be better on the defensive end. We tried to fix those teams coming out into the second half, and I think we were more locked in and more connected in the second half in defense.
There were a lot of Princeton fans there. Anytime it's a Cinderella, you're going to have a lot of people cheering for that team. But at the same time, as the game started going on, you saw the blue they were cutting away to it on TV. Could you hear the Creighton fan base there representing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Creighton always no matter where we are. I mean, we had a lot of turnout at Maui. We had a lot of turnout at the Big East tournament. I mean, that's just one of the things that we try to play for. We know that these fans are very loyal to us, and we know that it's one of the best programs in the country in terms of the fan base. And so we just try to play for them and play with what's in front of our jersey. And, I mean, the fans have been with us through, our 6-game lull, and then they've been with us through we were high. So, I mean, it's just great to be able to play in front of a university that has been loyal to you throughout the ups and downs.
Y'all about to jump into San Diego State, man. This Elite Eight game. Tell me something about like playing against them. Y'all familiar with them? Mm-hmm. Does like the stakes change? I mean, the stakes have changed to the stage, but like, how comfortable are y'all as you prepare for them?
Yeah, I mean, we know what their tendencies are. We played them last year in the first round of the tournament. Obviously, we had Kalkbrenner for most of that game, but we didn't have R2. So, I mean, it's going to be a different change of scenery. We're going to have our whole team. They're going to have an even better team than they did last year. But San Diego State plays with a lot of grit. They play with a lot of physicality. Their identity is on the defensive end. And so we just have to find ways to get some stops on the other end and then be able to run before they can set up their half-court defense, because we know they're very good in the half-court on defense. And just being able just to, just find easy looks throughout the offense, get Cogburn on a couple seals, and be able to get some open jumpers throughout the course of the shot clock. So, I mean, it's just really us just playing our game and just us being able to, kind of pick them apart on the defensive end and get some stops and get out and run.
I think you're like I am on a plane. You fall asleep. But when you guys were flying over to Maui with San Diego State, how much did you get a chance to talk to guys? What was that like, having another team on the plane with you?
Yeah, I mean, our Arch brother, we're pretty cool with Arch brother. I mean, he comes around at times when when they don't have games. He comes to a couple of our games. So, I mean, we came to know him, and he's kind of been a real cool individual. We've got to talk to him a couple of times, and I mean, being able to share the plane with them, I mean, it's just cool to do, because I mean, obviously we played them in the first round of last year. I mean, but they're very cool people, down to earth. I mean, they have a great coach, obviously, and they have an even better team. So I mean, it's just cool to share a plane with some guys that kind of have the same goals in mind as you and your team.
Hey, there's a lot to be excited for, and a lot, that's positive, jumping and going. From an accountability standpoint, all the way up to this game you're about to go into in the tournament, what type of things do you think you can hold yourself accountable for to be better at? And also, what's some things about your team that you feel like you can have them step their game up with?
I mean, for me individually, I just feel like on the defensive end, like I have to be more locked in. I mean, yesterday I kind of got caught in a couple pick and rolls. I kind of got backdoor once. And then those things are like things that I usually don't get caught on. So, I mean, it's a level of focus that comes with me, and I feel like that's kind of what I have to do, is be more focused in the flow of the game, and also just kind of letting the game come to me. I feel like when I let the game come to me, I'm playing pretty good, and I feel like it works out better for the team. I mean, as from a team aspect, I just want us to keep having fun. I feel like we've been having a lot of fun in terms of us being out there and playing together. And I mean, in terms of us, we just want to keep playing with each other, which is by us winning. So the more fun that we have and the more we keep winning is just what we want to do, because I mean, this game can be taken from you at any point throughout the season, and who knows what group of guys will be here next year. And I mean, it's been a hell of a ride this year, so we just want to keep using that momentum and keep being able to play with each other. So that's really the biggest thing for me.
When we talked to you in Vegas, the bench was struggling a little bit. Farabello, the last few games, he's played really well.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what he's brought to the team with his minutes?
Yeah. I mean, Farabello, I think with him, it's just all about confidence. I mean, we try to feed him as much confidence as we can. The coaching staff tries to feed him as much confidence as they can, because we know how dangerous he can be from the three ball. We know that he's kind of probably not had the best in terms of shooting season as he's had in the past, but I mean, think about shooter. It only takes them to only see one go in for them to keep their confidence going. So, yeah. I mean, when Bello's seen a couple go in throughout this tournament, he's been big for us in many ways. I mean, I think he's made a three every game of this tournament. I mean, against Baylor, he had three big ones. So, I mean, we just want to keep feeding him confidence, because off of the bench, we know what he can do. We know what he can bring to the table. And, I mean, when everybody's clicking, and then we have Bello coming off the bench to give a different look, where you have somebody that can also stretch the floor. I mean, it's just big for the flow of the offense.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I know like you locked in for sure, but like on your downtime, you ever got a chance to catch what's going on around the tournament and other teams and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, we all watch the games together. I was just upstairs watching the K-State FAU game with R2 and Art. I mean, it's some really good teams and really good players in this tournament, and I mean, it just goes to show like how much talent is around the country. I mean, it's just cool to see like everybody's different way that they got to where we're at in the Elite Eight, and kind of see the teams that are still around. I mean, FAU is what, a 9 seed, and they're still around, and I mean, we're a 6 seed, so there are no number 1 seeds left, which is crazy to even think about. But it's just cool to be in this moment and just being able to watch how everybody plays together and how everybody gels. And I mean, some teams like you don't expect to be here, but they're here because of how well they play together. And some teams just have very good individual talent, and that's how they got here. But it's just cool. It's just cool to watch those games. It's fun.
K-State up 5 early on. Let you get back to that. Last question for me. Give me one thing. Give me a key to this game against San Diego State you think that Creighton's got to accomplish to be able to win the thing.
I think it's going to be the board play. I think it depends on who's going to get the most rebounds. If we're able to keep them off of the offensive glass, I think we'll be just fine because I think we'll be able to get stops against them. But I mean, if we let them get a lot of second chance points and then they get to set up their defense and then they get to chew away a lot of the clock in terms of their offensive possessions, I think it's going to be a dogfight. But I think we're able to control the glass, will be just fine.
Yeah, my last thing is, man, tell Art to get his bounce up. That one thing he had about 3 lobs, man.
Yeah.
Put it in, man. Art is athletic, man, but he ain't a high fly. I'm playing. I'm just playing. That's my
Hey, Trey, man, we really appreciate it, and good luck in San Diego State.
For sure, bro. Congrats.
Appreciate y'all for having me on the show, man. It's always love on the show. I love it. Appreciate it.
For sure.
All right, thanks to Trey Alexander joining us here on the Let It Fly show. Funny, I think he was the first player. Was he the first player we chatted with?
No, Kaluma.
Kaluma was, and then because that was out of the restaurant. Yeah. First player we talked to in Vegas. Yeah. And Trey was kind of going through a tough time at that point.
He was struggling, bro.
And as we talked to him there, he's feeling pretty good right now and looking pretty good as well. And the way he played when they tried to post him. Yeah. They tried to post him a couple times.
I know.
And he was like, no.
Yeah, he can hold his own, man.
And he held his own with his footwork, and it made a big difference. Right. So, San Diego State University, a school that I always thought, if they get into a big conference, because they're in a county that's got a lot of talent,
it's
basketball
nice out
and
there,
football,
too.
it's really nice. People like to live out there.
Oh, my gosh.
You got the military kids are out there, too.
Yep.
So, you have an opportunity to get a lot of talent. And they haven't, before this, got a chance to get. Now, they're getting ready to go in the Big 12. Yep. They're going to have their opportunity.
They're a Big 12 team. Big now, I think.
And I mean, right, they're right now in the Mountain West, but they're going to move there.
They fit.
They definitely do. They look like. And I always thought they could be that.
Right.
They are as good of a defensive team that Creighton's ever going to see. They're 4th in the country, according to Kim Palm, in adjusted defense. Yeah. This is a team that went against an Alabama team that averaged way past 75, held them to 62, 32% shooting. I think they only made three-pointers the whole game. Yep. It is a tough defense, man.
All because of defense, though.
All because of defense.
I mean, there were points in the game where I was kind of laughing, though, because they'd get those nice swing passes, from the wing to the corner, clank, but they'd get the rebound and put it back up. They have dog in their fight.
They do.
Man.
They do.
I'm excited to see. Kalkbrenner is going to be the difference in a lot of games. Yeah, sure. But I want to see how he's going to respond to this physicality.
To the physicality they have. Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't do it.
Yeah.
I just want to see it.
And the wings, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. The wing, Baylor is going to have to. Yeah. Probably they're going to try to post him.
Because remember when Villanova, every time Villanova played Creighton, it's almost like Baylor couldn't bully ball nobody.
Yeah.
So this is,
and they're going to try to bully ball him a little bit, too.
Exactly.
It's funny when you go back and you pull up the stat sheet for the Alabama game. And if you just look at the stats, don't look at the top score, you think maybe Alabama won it because they out-rebounded them. Yep. They had more second-chance points. They both teams should shoot well. Yeah. Listen, San Diego State wants to walk out of there having shot like 33%.
Right.
They don't care.
No.
They just want to win the game.
They're going to grind you.
And I bet you Alabama at the end was like, what happened?
Exactly.
How did we lose that game?
Exactly. Only thing that I didn't like about the Alabama-San Diego State game from San Diego State, when it was winning time, it was down to those last minutes, they were coming all the way up to the free throw line to get the ball inbounds. And that's the biggest mistake you can make in basketball, especially when you go to the deep corner. Yeah, at least, start free throw line extended, but don't run all the way down, especially if you can't handle the pressure. Right. So, I mean, man, I can't wait to see it.
They made 3 threes. Bama did against that defense in 27 shots.
Yeah.
27 shots, 64 points scored total. It's a good defense, man.
Yeah.
It's a good defense.
Oh, man, I want to say, it was San Diego State. There was a point in the game where one of the players did a little in and out spin move. Yeah. Lean with it, dunk. I was screaming at my TV.
There's so many storylines in this game. We talked about, obviously, Kaluma's brother.
Yeah. He a dog.
The two teams flew together to Maui.
Really?
Yes. So Creighton left here, half full plane, landed in San Diego, picked them up, took them there, and then came back, dropped them off, and came. They got that relationship. Yep. Many people thought they were going to play again in the finals. Didn't end up happening.
Exactly.
They played last year in the tournament, overtime game. Creighton pulled it out.
Yeah.
Just so many little storylines in this.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like this is good for Creighton because
it's a team they know too.
Yeah, it's a team you're familiar with, a team that's going to make you play hard as you can. And if you can beat us, you deserve to be in the title game.
Yeah. I wonder how much, and you could tell me, so I was talking about prep and how difficult it can be in a tournament.
Yeah.
Being they played this team, I know it's not the exact same team,
Right.
but being they did play this team in the tournament last year,
Yeah.
and they may even prepped a little bit when they
Right.
went to Maui for playing this team, how much do you think that helps?
I guarantee you right now, the energy towards Coach Mack and his team has kind of been a little calm because he's, as a coach, he's seen them before himself.
Sure.
And so I bet you his approach to his players is that injury. Like, we've seen them before.
We've seen them before.
This is what they do. And so keep that mindset, but then you got to intensify it because the stakes on the line, but don't let those intensity of those stakes get to you. Just play against San Diego State. Them.
Know this, either Creighton or San Diego State are going to the Final Four. This I was looking at the bracket stuff the other day, and first of all, there were no perfect brackets after the 116 upset because nobody picked that, right?
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Right.
But I think it's like 30% of the country still has their final team.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. Like Texas is real popular out there. UConn's popular.
Yeah.
But everything else, like the Purdue's, the Indiana's, people pick for upsets. TCU, and then of course all the number one seeds are all gone.
I told you, I said I got 3 brackets.
Yeah.
I got my first bracket.
Yeah.
I had Creighton going to the Sweet 16. I had
So did I.
Yeah, my second bracket is my son's.
Okay.
He got Creighton actually going to the Final Four.
Oh. Okay.
That's me being
sure.
biased. I can't pick against Creighton because I played and not take them as far as they can go.
That's understandable. Yeah.
But then, because I'm trying to win some bracket money too.
Oh yeah, I get that.
But then I got that third bracket where it's just a bunch of the bracket is completely busted, but Creighton wins it all.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Only thing
So I
I
got
have,
3 brackets. So I'm right regardless.
I have one bracket, and the only team I have left in the Final Four is Texas.
Man, that's what's
That
up.
was the only one I had left.
Shout
in the
out
Final Four.
to Christian Bishop too, man.
Yeah, in his 91st year in college basketball. Maybe not
This guy.
91. But dude, he's been there forever.
He has,
Wasn't he
man.
in like the 2016 class?
Yeah.
Or 2017 class?
No. This ain't even a fun fact. He was a part of that Sweet 16 team, right?
Yeah, he was. But
Yeah.
he was. I think he was a 2017 commit.
I don't know.
I think he committed to Nebraska
he
in
might have
2017. This is 2023.
Yeah, he might have.
He's been playing for a long
I'll tell you
time.
what. Yes, my last memory of Christian Bishop is Drew Timmy doing this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to him
He's
for
been
balling.
around. Yeah, good for him. A lot of guys with ties.
Yeah.
You got a rope playing.
Yeah.
Of course.
Omaha South.
Exactly.
Shout out to Omaha.
You have that. You have Gonzaga. You
Yep.
got
Hunter Salas
is playing.
Ballin'.
You got him playing. So you got a lot of local
Ballin'.
ties. Yeah.
Yeah,
no doubt.
he gonna come on the show one day too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Remember?
talked to his
Yeah.
mama.
Oh, yeah. His
Yeah.
mama's the best.
Yeah, I grew
She's the
up
best.
with him.
Yeah, and then his mom married the former sports director over at the World Herald.
Yeah, I know.
Thad. So
Yeah.
they moved up there. So
Yep, and Hunter's dad used to pick my little brother up.
Hunter's dad runs the bus system for OPS.
And my little brother used to be late for school.
Yeah.
And I'd call Travis. Say, listen,
Travis, come help
hey
us
man,
out.
can you get us a bus?
Travis is
Hey, I
awesome.
said, make sure it's a short bus.
That's not nice. That's not nice at all. That's not nice at all. Okay, well, it's going to be great.
man.
A good show. Thanks very much to Trey Alexander for joining us, of course.
Thank you, bro.
Pat for coming in on a Saturday with her
Thank you,
dad,
Pat.
getting that done as well. That was awesome. Phil McClain scheduling Trey, of
guy.
course, getting it done. They're actually in Louisville,
Yep.
taking care of business there as well. So everybody enjoy it. It's going to be amazing.
Yep.
Soak it in. A chance to go to the Final Four. Take us away.
Hey, this is Josh Jones on behalf of my man Michael Severe. It's March Madness, baby. You know how we do it. It's a Let It Fly show.